Hi Deriva Kirus, this is Diego. I want to first thank you for the data. I think this is great. I have a little problem organizing it because of the different names. In order for me to include all this number of stations in the IRE, I need a code for each station. I cannot use the names. I need a code for each station. So what I'm doing is I'm matching the code or the name that is sent with the data with the codes that we have. These are the codes that this is the table with all the codes. So this is the names. These are the codes right here that we use. But then when I try to find the station name in order to give it the code. So for example, look at this, came Addis Ababa Ops. It came with parentheses. So when I looked in my table, Addis Ababa Ops has no parentheses. So I couldn't find it. It gave me an NA. So, and Adele, you see Adele right here in the bottom. It's giving me an NA because the Adele that I have has only one D, and the Adele that you sent has two Ds. So the names don't match, and I noticed that the names from one month to another, they don't match either. From tables that you sent, Deriva, sometimes I looked at the names in order to be consistent. The names are not consistent from one month to another, or one decade to another. So that makes it very difficult for me to match it. Then because this right here is a formula that does it. See, it looks for that name in the table that I showed, and then it gives us the ID. But then I have to go one by one in order to get it. For example, right here I'm going one by one in order to get the ID. But then look at this, I've done 25 and only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 have match, and I think I've done a couple by hand already. So then it's going to be very time consuming, and unfortunately we cannot use this data to include it in the IRE. If there is a way that you guys could create a master table with the name and the ID, and then we can use that one always, that I think is more important to have the ID than even the name, because the ID is unchangeable. The name could change. Sometimes I've seen so many little changes, like a WhatsApp with one S or two S's, then that messes up the whole thing. But if we have the ID, then the ID is always going to be the same. So that is the problem that I unfortunately, getting the data and having to do all this work every month is a lot of time. But if we have the ID, it will take just a few minutes. So what I do is I take the data that Deriva sends and I put it right here in this macro. I copy it right here, and it reads the data, and then it gives me, for example, it gives me, in this case, this is the rainfall. But since you're sending all the other variables, I could add another column here for the other variables. But this is based on the ID, not on the name, but it's based on the ID. So that is the important thing that we need to do, is getting the ID right. So that way, running this takes, I'm going to show you, if I bring the table that Deriva sent, which is this is the one that he just sent. So it's with the decade value. In this case, it's only for rainfall, but just to show you how this works. So I just copy this, the data that Deriva sent. So you see it has the ID, even though it has the name, but what it does, then I do Control-Shift-L, and it runs, it completes the ID for all the fields, and it gives me the ID and the value. So this is the ID and this is the value right here. This is the ID and this is the value, ID, value, and so forth. So it gives that for all the stations. So once I have this, I copy this into this one, and you see now I have decade 24. Once I add it right here, then it automatically fills this decade 24 right here. It automatically fills the month. So then that's all I have to do. Once I get the data from Deriva, I run the macro and paste the data right here, and that's it. It completes the decades and the months, and I don't have to do anything by hand in that part. So if we could get those codes to work, then this is going to be a piece of cake from now on, because then we can get all the different variables. So that is the importance of getting the IDs with the data.